If you can kill an American or European infidel, especially the spiteful and cursed French, or an Australian or a Canadian or any other disbeliever from the infidel fighters, including the citizens of those countries that entered into a coalition against the Islamic State, then rely upon God and kill them in any way possible. Joining me now is one of Australia's foremost terrorism experts, Greg Barton from Monash University. Greg, good morning to you. Now, I debated whether or not we should even show it, but I guess it's out there, it's on the internet, it's going to be everywhere. We already knew we're at war with them. Does this heighten it all?
Oh, it certainly does. We've had this debate now for some time as to whether IS is just focusing their energies inwards on building their state, or whether they're going to follow Al-Qaeda and project those foreign fighters and networks outwards. And this seems to be the turning point.
Is it just rhetoric? Is it just propaganda, though?
Look, I wish it were, but we're dealing with a phenomenon where they're holding territory with 8 million lives in Syria and Iraq, but they've also supported by over 10,000 foreign fighters and support networks behind them. So they're perfectly positioned to project energy outwards as they come under attack from a military coalition. They anticipate this. They have this sense of manifest destiny. They believe God will help them prevail, and they're going to take the fight on both in Iraq and Syria, and it would appear back where the coalition forces come from.
Well, when the coalition starts to look at Syria and starts to look at the ISIS leadership, they have to look at some sort of impact in Syria itself, don't they, to have an impact on that higher level of ISIS, to try and break it down a bit, don't they?
You're absolutely right, Carl. The advances of the last 24 hours of ISIS in Syria, pushing the Kurds north over the Turkish border.
Awful.
We thought that Kurdish north was safe. It's clearly not. This group is now back rolling forward. We thought the tide had turned against them. They're now surging. So, yeah, you're right. We can't leave Syria out of this.
And the argument is that you cut off the head, there's always some other people to replace the leadership. But it would be important strategically at this point, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the founder of this movement of Al-Qaeda in Iraq was Musab al-Zarqawi. He was foolish enough to update his live video feed too often and was hit by an F-16 dropped bomb in 2006. That slowed them down for years. Now, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, or as he likes to call himself, Caliph Ibrahim, is full of hubris, but a very clever strategician. If he were gone, we'd get a big advantage. We don't know where he is, and we can assume he's well hidden.
Greg, I want to talk too about, if I can, things back home. And I don't think there's any doubt everyone's seen the security increased in the last week or so. Also, when you see photos like the front page of the telly yesterday, and 9 News carried these pictures yesterday as well, Lucas Frights, it does make people nervous. What I want to know, if you can answer it, is how much support is there being gauged that ISIS has amongst the Muslim community, or is it too difficult to tell?
As best we can tell, Carl, there might be a few hundred people susceptible to this message, and that's a fraction of 1% of the 500,000 strong Muslim community. But there are many in the community who are in a position to speak up if they have concerns, provided they feel confident. At the moment, they feel very fragile and under siege. But, they're our eyes and our ears on the ground. If they can feel confident to speak up when they have concerns about loved ones or people that they know well slipping away, that's our best line of defence.
We're going to be reliant heavily upon them, aren't we?
Absolutely. No, we're in this together, but, I mean, unfortunately, they're bearing the brunt of this. Their kids have been taken away from them, and we need their help to speak up.
Agree. Greg, thank you for your time this morning. Always good to get your insight. Lisa.